Next month is the 54th anniversary of the May 4th massacre that took place at Kent State. TV2 News will preview events that will commemorate the anniversary.
Curious on what fashion students on this campus are up to? Well, you get a chance to see here very soon, as a fashion show will take place tonight. More details later.
For the second night in a row, Portage County is under freeze warning. We'll tell you how long it lasts and whether or not it'll affect you.
And comics have been made hoping to educate citizens about the events that took place on May 4th. All of this and more as a 1-hour special edition of TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to the 1-hour season finale of the TV2 Wednesday newscast. I'm Matt Corrali.
And I'm Hayden Cruz.
We will start tonight with events that are going on as we come up on the anniversary of the events that took place here on May 4th, 1970.
That's right, Matt. To tell us more is our own Emma Campbell. Emma, good evening.
Good evening, Matt and Hayden. May 4th is only a little over a week away, and to hear what campus has planned to commemorate the 54th year, I stopped by the May 4th Visitor Center today.
Around May 4, there is a commemoration, a candlelight vigil, a number of activities planned by the Education Committee and the May 4 Task Force, which is made up of students. It's a great time to learn more about May 4, especially because there are so many connections to things happening in the world today.
Kent State University has been honoring the May 4th event here on campus since 1970. The 2024 commemoration includes musical performances at Kent Stage, a lecture, and the annual candlelit vigil that the community is all able to participate and attend to remember the students whose lives were affected that day. The May 4th Visitor Center and the student-run May 4th Task Force will also be hosting events such as director-led tours for students to attend. May 4th will be on a Saturday this year, but stay tuned for later in the show to hear how current students and faculty continue to build connections to the historic Kent State and national event. But for now, I've been Emma Campbell for TV2 News.
All right, thank you, Emma. Well, earlier today, the May 4th Visitors Center hosted an exhibit taking guests on a tour of comics related to May 4th. The center director, Allison Kaplan, led visitors on a tour exploring graphic art, political cartoons, and comics. Visitors could learn more about how Derf Backderf researched his award-winning graphic novel, as well as know the story behind Chuck Ayers' first political cartoon. This event will be held again on Sunday, May 5th from 10 to 11 a.m. in the May 4th Visitor Center.
Well, very interesting stuff. Well, as the end of the semester is just around the corner, we are seeing a ton more events here on campus before students say goodbye.
That's right, Matt. To tell you more about these events, we have Joe Malvin in the studio. Good evening, Joe.
Hey guys, and hey Portage County, it is great to see you once again. As you may have heard, my name is in fact Joe Malvin, so let's get into the news surrounding our wonderful Kent State campus. Well, the Kent State Student Rec and Wellness Center hosted their Wellness Wednesday event today from 4 to 6. The event is free weekly for students to provide a wellness education, interactive activities, and giveaways. Participants don't need to attend the entire event. Be sure to check out the Kent State of Wellbeing Instagram page for more information. And the Denim Day Fashion Show will be taking place tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. in Oscar Ritchie Hall. The event commemorates Denim Day, a day to show support for survivors of sexual violence. The Denim Day Fashion Show will allow student groups, departments, and individuals to show their support. The organizers of the event invite students to enjoy the show or walk the runway in their denim. Well, this week is Earth Week, and while Monday had all the Earth Week festivities, today the festivities continued as Jungle Terry came to Kent State. The sensational animal keeper brought his animal friends to the Kiva from 10 to 12. The events continue this week with a meal swipe collection drive tomorrow, and the Haymaker Farmers Market Arts and Craft events takes place on Saturday. Be sure to check out Kent State USG on Instagram for more information. Well, are you a gamer or just a fan of all things arts and crafts? Fab KSU, in collaboration with the Video Game Club, is hosting Minecraft Craft-A-Craft tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. Create a block-themed craft or either a bee, a heart, a potion, or a flower. The event takes place at the Kent State Student Center, room 218. Come enjoy good food, a raffle, and word searches. Unfortunately, that is all the time I have right now, but I will be back for now, throwing it over to Michael Neenan with the weather.
Thank you, Joe. You know, April showers bring clouds, because right now, if you go outside, that's all you can see right now. We're currently in Kent. It is 44 degrees, but it does feel like it is 39 with a dew point of also 39 degrees. What do you know? Winds are traveling north to northwest at around 10 miles an hour, and the humidity is at around 67%. And for the last time this semester, get ready for this, I'm very happy to report that we have a full 10-mile visibility. Thankfully, you can go outside, you can go drive your car, you can see just fine. Now, let's take a look at the temperature later today and into tomorrow, because at 8 p.m. it will be 42 degrees. It's going to stay pretty cloudy even into midnight, where it will drop to 38. And at 8 a.m., thankfully, the sun will make an appearance yet again. So it will be 36 degrees, though. And speaking of which, tonight and into tomorrow, you will see a bit of a freeze warning. More on that later. It will be at around 45 degrees. It will be pretty cloudy pretty much all night until the morning. And we actually do have a full moon. So if you can see it through the clouds, it is a very good watch. I do recommend it. The wind is traveling north to northwest at around 12 miles an hour. And the sun will set at 8:15 p.m., which means you're going to have a lot of daylight. Thankfully, as we go into May, you're going to be able to stay out, do things longer. And honestly, it may not even really get dark until 9 p.m. You know, it is a pretty big turnaround from February, where the sun was going down even before 5 p.m., but that is all the time I have for now. Be sure to tune in later as we go over the statewide temperatures. Now, let's get back to the news.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. The Ohio Department of Transportation says it has picked up more than 89,000 bags of trash left along state routes and U.S. highways so far this year. The agency also reported that they spent a whopping $10 million a year collecting litter. ODOT collects trash along state and U.S. routes outside municipalities and all interstates except the Ohio Turnpike. Since January, ODOT says that Adopt-A-Highway groups in Ohio have taken care of nearly 200 bags of trash.
Ever wanted to spend the night on an alpaca farm? Well, now you can, Portage County, as Bell-tastic Party Events and Pure Passions Farm have come together to glamp on an alpaca farm. Weather permitting, campers will stay on the 4.6-acre farm with unlimited access to alpacas, goats, a gift shop, and many other activities. The bell-shaped tents, outfitted with a full bed, nightstands, and plenty of decor, will be set up in an area where the alpacas are allowed to free roam. To learn more about the alpaca glamping, visit purepassionsfarm.com.
Well, I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Right?
Holy
Sounds
smokes.
awesome.
Got to get on that. Well, so it looks as though that some area schools were named some of the best in the state. We tell you who they are and where they each placed.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just unveiled their 2024 inductees this weekend. Did your favorite artist make this year's list? Find out later.
On 9/27, this absolute menace of a man broke the Stardew community when he tweeted this image.
Three, but that looked really good for the time.
That was incredible to me. My body kept shaking, and I also got a picture with them too, which was awesome.
Catch All Systems Go, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. TV2 Entertainment. See what's up.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for?
Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers.
Feed the pig.
I got you.
Oh, yeah, got him.
stupid controller froze again.
You're only saying that because you're losing.
Bet you bought the cheap one.
My controller is junk too. Is this even real?
You're spending less, so...
Yeah? We'll just buy it again?
Smart kids.
Who are you?
Or what are you?
Hey, I was wondering if you guys wanted any... OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff, the crime dog. He's an imposter. He's a fake. Oh!
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. And that, Pops...
could blow up in your face!
That's right, Scruff. Let's take a bite out of crime together and protect ourselves against fakes. Like him.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing an arm.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back, everyone. Voter fraud was a big topic of conversation in the 2020 presidential election, and 4 years later, Hayden, talks about being a factor in the upcoming election are still running throughout the country.
Absolutely, Matt. Well, here with the updates is our wonderful Nikki Gajeski. Nikki, good evening.
Good evening. The 2020 presidential election is only a few months away. With this comes questions of election integrity and voter turnout. So I took a trip to the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections to explore these issues more in depth. The presidential primary season is nearly finished, and it appears November will be a rematch between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. Last time the two candidates went head-to-head, the presidential race ended with a Biden win, which ignited numerous claims of voter fraud for Republicans. But did it really happen?
No, not really. There might be a pocket or two, but something here or there, but massive voter fraud. No, Trump didn't steal the election. He was trying to steal the election.
As we saw in states like Georgia and Arizona, where there was a close vote, and they got an awful lot of attention for the way they administer elections.
Mail-in ballots drew the biggest attention with concerns that they were used to duplicate votes.
There's been a few isolated cases of people trying to vote twice, and that generally involves trying to vote by mail and try to vote on election day.
Data from the Heritage Foundation reported only one case of someone facing criminal charges for trying to vote by mail and in person in Ohio's 2020 election.
Very easy to get caught because we have systems of checks and balances that prevent that from happening.
With these safeguards in place, Ohio's Secretary of State reported 75 cases of voter fraud for the 2020 election. On a nationwide scale, the Associated Press found fewer than 475 cases of fraud in the 2020 election. Our numbers on 2020 from APA include 6 battleground states where election results were accused of fraud. From those same numbers, Arizona saw 198 alleged cases. Pennsylvania and Wisconsin saw a little over 25. In a matter of few months, places like these will be used as voting locations. But with Ohio's recent primary turnout dropping to 50%, according to the Ohio Capitol Journal, there's potential concern of how many will actually be coming out to vote in the general election. The voter fraud issue may cause some to change their voting method. Others say their desire to vote has strengthened in spite of the talk of fraud.
I still think it's more important that I go and vote, even if I'm worried about something happening.
Research from Statista suggests people are more eager to vote since 2023. That data reports students like Gates and young adults were more inclined to vote this year by 38%, but not as much as older Americans. That same research also shows voters in the 50-plus age group are more motivated to vote by 50 to 56%.
I believe it's our duty to vote as citizens of the United States. A lot of people have died for that right, and it's not a right everybody has around the world, so I think it's important that we express that.
Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Nikki Gajeski. For more on Ohio's safe elections, you can go to Ohio Public Integrity Division. Check back in with me later to hear about some of the end-of-the-year festivities happening on campus. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Nikki Gajeski.
hard to believe with it being late April, Hayden, but our area is under a freeze watch. And like Michael said earlier in the show, for the second day, I should say, in a row.
That's crazy. It's insane. Well, we now go to TV2 senior weatherman Aaron Hauk, who is live on campus with the latest.
Good evening, Portage County. It is Aaron Hauk, your Wednesday evening weather reporter. For once, freezing outside, while we do in fact have a freeze watch in effect for Portage County this evening. With that entails a couple of dropping temperatures coming into our area. The freeze advisory is going to remain in effect from midnight tonight to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Temperatures as low as 34 degrees will result in frost formation on the ground. Portions of east, central, and southeast Indiana will be affected, along with south central and southwest Ohio. From midnight tonight to 9 a.m. tomorrow, you can expect those temperatures to drop down into the low 30s and high 20s. Frost could kill sensitive outdoor vegetation if it is left uncovered. The National Weather Service recommends if you are outside this evening to stay bundled up at all costs, as the temperatures will be dropping well into the high 20s and low 30s. And that is all for right now. I will see you guys back inside in just a short time and hopefully a lot warmer. Back to the boys at the desk.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much. Well, we welcome back Michael Neenan to the anchor desk here. And Michael, you know, we were talking about it earlier, freeze watch in our area. But what about the rest of the state of Ohio? Can they experience some of the temperatures that are going on here in Kent in other cities in the state?
Well, at the moment, no. Many of the other cities in Ohio are much warmer, especially down in Cincinnati. Let's take a look, shall we? Because, well, currently in Northeast Ohio, well, tonight and tomorrow, it will be around 45 degrees. I also would like to add that any outdoor plumbing as well could be in danger of freezing, along with outdoor plants. Tonight and tomorrow, it's going to be pretty cloudy. It will be cold enough to freeze, but for the most part, it's not going to be too cold. Essentially, it's only going to affect you if you have those things like, well, outdoor plumbing and plants as well. So let's take a look at temperatures across Northeast Ohio. Because, well, currently, as we go from west to east, as you can see, it's mainly in the 40s. It's not really all that cold, actually, but it will get cold enough to freeze a little bit, especially in that Sandusky area. It's around 45. Going south a little bit, though, gets as much as the low 40s. Well, and as it really does stay in that 40s area. Now, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast because, well, tomorrow going into Thursday, it's going to be as high as 63 degrees, and it will be mostly cloudy for the whole day. It's not really going to be all that sunny like I mentioned earlier. It's only going to be in the morning that you'll see it, and then the clouds will come back. And then it will start to get rainy on Friday as well. It'll be around 75 degrees, and it will get rainy later in the week, but that's all I have for now. Be sure to check KentWire.com for any major weather updates, especially regarding the freeze. I've been Michael Neenan, and let's send it back to the desk.
We thank you once again. A U.S. News World Report recently came out with their 2024 list of best public high schools and found that 4 local districts rank among the top 10 in Ohio. However, not a single school ranked in the Buckeye State was in the top 100 nationwide. According to the report, in Ohio, Solon High School ranked number 4 in the state. Rocky River High School came in at number 5. Chagrin Falls High School is number 7, and Hudson High School is ranked at number 9.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced its 2024 class of inductees. In the performer category, the inductees are Cher, Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews Band, Ozzy Osbourne, Peter Frampton, Foreigner, Kool and the Gang, and A Tribe Called Quest. For the Musical Excellence Award, it's Diane Warwick, Jimmy Buffett, MC5, and Norman Whitfield. The inductees were announced Sunday, and the induction ceremony takes place October 19th.
Just a great selection.
Right?
A lot of musical history there.
Very
That's
happy
awesome.
about Jimmy Buffett.
Well, the food trucks are coming next week. Starting May 1st, downtown Cleveland is hosting a lineup of food truck gatherings every weekday for those in the area during lunchtime. All events run rain or shine from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and often feature live entertainment and prize opportunities. The series runs through September 20th.
You can catch me there.
Can we? Nice.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, you can now fly from Akron to Myrtle Beach starting at just $39. Breeze Airlines announced today it will fly nonstop to Myrtle Beach from the Akron-Canton Airport starting on June 22nd. The flights to South Carolina will run on Wednesdays and Saturdays. One-way fares are now available for $39 if purchased by April 30th for travel by January 7th, 2025. Matt, will you be going?
I'm better for that price.
Cool, we're going for spring break. There you go. Well, today is a big day of celebration for one of America's favorite party appetizers. We'll tell you what that appetizer is coming up next, and it's a good one.
And there's a new flash in town. Find out who's making a dunk into Kent State basketball when we return.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one.
Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe.
Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
How's your hair? Is it pretty?
Daddy.
It's pretty.
Maybe I'll say that.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
What's going on, Portage County? I'm Della Fowler, and we have an all-flash block coming out of Kent State. So let's do this thing. We'll start off with some breaking news out of Kent State Gymnastic. First-year Beams coach Josie Angeny posted a message on X that she's made the decision to step away from her role at Kent State. In her first and only season, she helped the Flashes post one of the best season beam averages in program history. She will be thoroughly missed by them. Be on the lookout for new coaches' updates. And head coach Rob Sinderoff in the Kent State men's basketball program announced the signing of Jamal Sumlin, or WAP, as many like to call him, in the 2024 class this afternoon. Sumlin will have 3 years of eligibility for the Flashes after redshirting his freshman year at UTEP, making a stop at Northwest Florida State College in between. Now this redshirt sophomore guard played in 33 games starting in 26, while averaging 29.8 minutes per game in his first collegiate season. WAP was named first-year All-Panhandle Conference and Co-Player of the Year after averaging 10.2 points per game and shooting 46.7% from the field. But he's best known defensively, averaging 4.5 rebounds per game. For more updates on the transfer portal, follow along with TV2 Sports on socials. We will keep you up to date with everything. And the Kent State women's golf team is continuing to make history. They just won their 25th MAC Conference Championship, staying the one and only MAC team to hoist the trophy up. The Golden Flashes also claimed the individual title for the second year in a row, although this year the honor is shared by a pair of golfers. Sophomore Leon Takagi and senior Hester Sicking share the top spot on the leaderboard, finishing the tournament 6 over par. The Flashes have clinched a spot in the 2024 Division I Women's Golf Championship, and they will find out their regional location during the selection show on Wednesday, April 24th at 2 p.m. Regional play will get underway on Monday, May 6th, so be sure to look out for that. And to the diamond we go. Last night, every single Kent State starter had a hit, and the Flashes earned win number 20 on the season, taking down Youngstown State 13-8. Like I said, it was a hitting clinic. Kyle Jackson had a 2-run bomb. Tim Orr had a couple of crucial hits, and Josh Johnson had 3 ribbies on the night. When it was bullpen time, Gavin Jones tossed 3.1 innings of shutout baseball for Kent State, and then the 3-run rally in the 8th made things a little bit closer. The Penguins were trying to come back, but luckily the Flashes were able to get some insurance runs and shut the door on that Penguin rally. They'll play tonight at Schoonover Stadium against Clarion. And that's all I've got for Kent State sports, but don't go anywhere because we're moving to the bigs and block number 2. I'll see you then.
And thank you so much, Della. A giant guitar tribute to Taylor Swift finds fame after 10 years. We tell you why this happened in the first place.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
An interesting piece of art in Rhode Island is finding fame thanks to some locals. They are sharing this 8-foot-tall guitar and a slab of granite. It has sat in a Westerly parking lot for almost a decade. The art piece was supposed to be integrated into the seawall around Taylor Swift's oceanfront home, but the excavation company says the tribute wasn't finished in time, so now it sits in its parking. The company says it will remain there unless Swift decides she wants it.
It's time to celebrate one of America's favorite appetizers. Wednesday, April 24th is National Pigs in a Blanket Day. The food can be served at virtually any time of day, even breakfast or brunch. No one knows for sure when the dish started, but records as early as 1901 reference recipes for pigs in a blanket. They can be made in various forms, wrapped in dough or even cabbage or bacon, and filled with either hot dogs or sausages. Make pigs in a blanket the way you'd like it best today.
I feel like there's one restaurant, whatever you want to call it, that does pigs in a blanket really well, Auntie Anne's.
So
they do
true.
a great job over there.
You are so right for that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's outstanding. It's so outstanding. Well, that's all the news we have for now, but don't worry.
We'll be back with more headlines at 6:30. Until then, I'm Hayden Cruz.
And I'm Matt Carali. TV2 News will return in 2 minutes.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Have a passion for fashion? Dreamed of becoming a designer? Well, the Kent School of Fashion can help you with that. We have the details on an event which aims to help students in the fashion industry.
Undergrad student government is getting ready for the end of the semester. We tell you upcoming events that you should keep an eye out for.
TikTok could soon be banned in the United States if it does not find a new owner, affecting about 170 million American users. Find out what the current vice president thinks of the ban.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our Franklin Hall studio with more news on TV2. I'm Matt Corrali.
And I'm Hayden Cruz.
Well, like we mentioned earlier in the show, Kent State is planning events for the 54th anniversary of the May 4th shootings that took place on campus.
Our own Emma Campbell is back with the full story. Good evening, Emma.
Good evening. Today on campus, I got the chance to speak with some students and staff who give some insight on how they feel May 4th will be honored this year. 54 consecutive years later, Kent State continues to honor students who on May 4th were injured or killed by the Ohio National Guard.
Since May 4th, 1970, we've returned to this campus every year to remember those that we lost 54 years ago.
Chick Canfora, an eyewitness of the Kent State shootings, was living in Lake Hall when the National Guard opened fire, injuring her brother and his roommate.
Today's students are already finding meaning in May 4th. They're finding a sense of pride in being at the university where America's constitutional right to freedom of speech was put to its greatest test.
Today, Kent State implements their respect and honor for May 4th by having a visitor center on campus where the community can visit and learn more about this important event in our history.
We're hoping that more and more students will find connection and personal meaning in May 4, so it's not all about just remembering what happened in the past, but it's also about making it relevant to the times we live in and to your own personal lives.
Kent State has adopted the May 4th legacy as a part of the campus culture.
And also we need to know our history. Our campus has always been active in any kind of protesting, and so to continue and further that legacy is really important.
The current student body finds this encouraging to embrace their First Amendment rights.
And on civil rights and human rights, they are following in a proud legacy of student activism at Kent State. I'm just so happy to see students today still carrying on that commitment and that tradition.
To those who choose to remember this important event in history, check out kent.edu/May 4th Visitor Center for updates on events that are planned for this year. And then for TV2 News, I'm Emma Campbell.
Good evening, Portage County. And, you know, it may get a little bit cold later, but that's okay because it's been kind of warm lately, I think. I'm your weather anchor, Michael Neenan, and I say we look at the 7-day forecast because tomorrow on Thursday, it's going to be pretty cloudy. It's going to be as high as 63 degrees, but it's not going to last too long because although it will be 75 tomorrow, well, Friday actually, it's going to be rainy. You're going to have to wear a windbreaker, a coat, whatever you have to keep yourself dry because it will subside over the weekend. In fact, over the weekend, it's actually going to be fairly warm. It's going to be into the 80s. That's going to be one of the hottest days of the year so far as you prepare for that. But then As you go back into next week, on Monday it will be raining yet again. Now, it will still be fairly warm and it will be mostly rainy, but Monday, thankfully, it will be only late showers, as during the day it's just going to be rather cloudy, and that's about it. Because as you go into next Wednesday, a week from today, it's going to be pretty sunny and it's going to be 80 yet again. Now, just to reiterate, the freeze warning means that there may be a little bit of frost, things might freeze. If you have outdoor plants or you have outdoor plumbing, that means that those things could be in danger of freezing. If you don't have either of those things, then that freeze warning shouldn't affect you, but that is all the time I have for now. Be sure to check KentWire.com for any major weather updates. I've been Michael Neenan for the last time this semester reporting for weather. Have a great day, Portage County.
All right, Michael, well, thank you again. And how about that, Hayden? 80 degrees this weekend.
I'm so happy. We need this nice weather back.
Yeah, you better enjoy. Well, let's send Michael back over here. And Michael, how are you going to spend this warm weekend out there?
You know, I think that I might go for a drive, or I might go outside. You know, I think that personally, just going for a drive with the windows down, blasting some music.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe some Chris Stapleton.
Oh, that's a good pick.
He's all right. You know, what do you think of him?
I think he's fantastic. Frankly, I think he's very good. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Michael. We appreciate it.
The weather is going to be really nice, and it's going to help this because as the semester comes to a close, the student life is not slowing down as more events are happening on campus. Right, Matt?
Absolutely, Hayden. Our reporter, Nikki Gajeski, is here with us again for more info on these events. Hi, Nikki.
Hey, Matt and Hayden. Yes, I am back, but this time I have updates on how Kent students are making the most of their final few weeks on campus through some events. Kicking off campus events is the School of Fashion 2024 annual fashion show Behind the Scenes. Behind the Scenes will happen tomorrow and will teach attendees how to turn their passion for fashion into a career route. Faculty and students will speak on their experience in addition to Kent alumni and fashion influencer Mackenzie Morgan. Arrival for Behind the Scenes will start at 10:15 tomorrow morning and lunch will be provided. Moving to another international holiday, Earth Day. Kent State's undergraduate student government is dedicating this entire week to environmentally conscious efforts. The celebration is called Earth Week. Today's Earth theme event was USG's hosting Jungle Terry at the Kiva. For those looking to participate in Earth Week, you can join tomorrow's activity, the Meal Swap Collection Drive on the first floor of the Student Center. Earth Day also signals how close we are to the end of the school year, meaning graduation time for seniors. Student Accessibility Services wants to honor their seniors, and what better way to do so than by offering grad photos. SAS students can stop by their office in the library between 3 and 5 tomorrow to get their photo taken and also get a Disability Pride medallion to wear at commencement. All SAS asks students is to wear their graduation gowns. That's all I have for events in the home stretch of the school year. Check out KentWire for more details and coverage. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Nikki Gajeski.
All right, thank you, Nikki. Pro-Palestinian student protests at Columbia University are still on the rise. Hear about the discussions surrounding the protests later.
And President Joe Biden signed an aid package into law giving military assistance to Ukraine. We give you the details.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall, and make a difference. change your life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Portage County, I am back this evening, especially with news specifically about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and especially about protests going on college campuses throughout the country. Well, throughout those college campuses, pro-Palestinian protest groups have popped up. A handful of tents at Columbia University have been taken down and moved out of the university's campus in New York. This comes after a deadline to reach an agreement to take down the camps failed. The majority of tents in the encampment remained after the deadline came and went.
Then when I was being taken out of Columbia's lawns with my hands zip-tied behind my back, alongside 107 other students, risking safety and suspension in order to push our university to divest from genocide, apartheid, and occupation in Palestine.
A spokesperson for the university said the negotiations will continue throughout the next 2 days. The university says conversations were extended due to, quote, constructive dialogue with student protesters. The university also said that the protesters are committed to removing tents. Columbia has not requested a police presence on campus, according to the NYPD. And moving now into Berkeley, it isn't just Columbia University that has seen an uptick in protests. Pro-Palestine protests have spread to the University of California, Berkeley. 12 tents and a rapidly growing camp have popped up around the Berkeley campus, representing the pro-Palestinian group, the Free Palestine Camp. Other examples of demonstrations are the Free Gaza messages sprawled in chalk around the campus. And crowds gathered on Tuesday evening in Tel Aviv to mark the 200th day since hostages were taken by Hamas. Videos obtained by CNN showed protesters covering their mouths with mass tape with the number 200. The videos also showed a large crowd of demonstrators marching through central Tel Aviv and visiting the U.S. Embassy. Family members of the hostages also addressed the crowd. Well, Portage County, that is all the time I have for today and, well, this semester. It's been great to deliver the news each Wednesday evening. For TV2 News, I've been Joe Malbin. Back to Matt and Hayden at the desk.
Thank you, Joe. We appreciate it. President Joe Biden signed into law an aid package providing crucial military assistance to Ukraine. This follows months of negotiations and debate as the package was passed by the Senate late Tuesday night. The $95 billion legislation includes nearly $61 billion in aid to Ukraine. The effects are most likely to be felt most quickly on battlefields in Ukraine. That's because their soldiers have faced ammunition shortages and battlefield losses in the absence of U.S. assistance earlier this year.
The president also signed a bill Wednesday that could lead to a nationwide ban on the popular TikTok social media app. Here is what Vice President Kamala Harris had to say.
Well, let me be clear. We do not want to ban TikTok, and that is not our intention at all. We're not trying to ban TikTok. We're basically saying we got to pay attention to who the owner of TikTok is and pay attention to what that presents in terms of national security issues. We do not want to ban TikTok at all.
The bill was part of a wide-ranging foreign aid package the Senate approved on Tuesday night. TikTok is owned by Chinese company ByteDance. Lawmakers have long been against the company, saying it gives the Chinese government potential access to the personal data of millions of Americans. The new bill signed into law on Wednesday would force TikTok to find a new owner within months, or the United States will ban its use in the country. TikTok CEO vows to challenge the ban in court, calling it unconstitutional.
What's up, guys? As Michael stated earlier, spring is in full effect for portions of Northeast Ohio. Although if you saw me outside earlier, you might not think so. Let's go ahead and take a brief moment to recap what you can expect in the next 7 days and touch on this frost warning that we have in effect. So Thursday to tomorrow from 12 a.m. tonight into 9 p.m. tomorrow on Thursday, we have a frost freeze warning coming into our area. Temperatures are reaching 34 degrees and below, which will result in frost formation overnight on the ground. What you guys can expect is some damage done to some of the vegetation, and farmers in the area can expect to potentially lose some crops as they recently planted them here in the springtime. Southern and central Indiana and southern and central Ohio will be the most affected from this warning. And as I just mentioned, frost can and probably will kill most sensitive outdoor plants if they are left uncovered. Now let's go ahead and retouch briefly on that 7-day forecast and what we can expect to see coming up. Some of the temperatures in our area are definitely going to warm up a little bit compared to what we've had today and going into tomorrow. Tomorrow it is 63 degrees with a low of 41. Definitely going to touch on that low side as we have the frost forming in overnight. 75 and 80s throughout the day, and ending with sunny temperatures next Wednesday. That is all for your Wednesday evening weather report. Remember to stay up to date with all news and weather stories at KentWired.com. I'm Aaron Hauk.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much. An area man and his family are looking to make a difference through TikTok. We tell you how they're doing so.
Your favorite Olympian might be a new Barbie. Find out who is the latest inspiration for a brand new doll.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, I'll tell you what, there is a lot of power in one of these. And one man, along with his son and girlfriend, are looking to use it for good with the power of social media and their love of food. Here's a deeper dive into the TikTok channel, Sniping for Dom. If you've been on TikTok recently, you may have heard this catchphrase.
Today we're in
Canton, Ohio,
and we're checking out
Don Tequila Mexican Grill.
The account is called Sniping for Dom, as he has grown a following for his food reviews on local businesses. The man behind the account is Derek Malone of Canton, as he told us his mission for the channel when it started around the time COVID restrictions were being lifted.
I talk and I was like, look, I don't know if this works, if it helps anyone, but if we could just get one person through somebody's door, mission accomplished. That's all we wanted.
And that's what happened with restaurants like The Nook in Massillon, which was one of the first restaurants that saw positive business because of his review. Fizzle Sticks in Massillon ran out of food to sell because of the amount of customers due to his video, and Mama Gazzardi's in North Canton saw business grow 200%. Shelly Meeks is Derek's girlfriend, and she explained the heart he has to help people going through a hard time.
He has a passion for seeing somebody less fortunate and trying to, make it better for them however he can, even if it's giving them a penny, he just has a passion for that.
For Derek himself, this is his message to his followers on the biggest takeaway from his channel.
If I can go out of my way, if I see someone having a bad day or someone's just like, I'm just not feeling it today, my main goal is to make sure that that person knows, like, hey, we already won the lottery. We woke up breathing. That's the best thing that's going to happen to you today. And I promise you, whatever you're going through, it's going to pass.
Reporting in Kent, Matt Corrali, TV2 News.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
All right, now taking things into sports here, Hayden. I'll tell you what, there is a lot going on here in Northeast Ohio. The Guardians are on fire. We were just talking about Kent State earlier, but I think we were going to start off. It's an Olympic year.
It is.
And I think Della Fowler has more for us, doesn't she?
Della, what do you have for us?
That's right, guys. Olympian Christy Yamaguchi is officially a Barbie girl. Mattel released her new doll today in celebration of Asian American Pacific Islanders Heritage Month. Yamaguchi became the first Asian American to win an individual figure skating gold medal at the 1992 Winter Olympics and has been immortalized as a doll for Barbie's Inspiring Women series. Mattel generally has gotten praise for its diversity efforts, but it's had some missteps along the way. For instance, in 2021, the toy maker said it, quote, fell short, quote, by failing to include an Asian doll in a line of the Tokyo Olympic themed Barbies. I mean, what an amazing impact to represent from your community. I guess we are not going to talk about the Olympics. Picking things up with a big playoff game, Florida right there. Tara Cinco finds the open net. Look at the replay. It's 2-0 Panthers. Now Tampa's turn on the man advantage. Steven Stankos with the slap shot, and it's good. We are all tied up. Now we are going to have a breakaway developing here with Anthony Cirelli. That's a scary guy coming at you. But there's lightning going around the back of the net everywhere. And Bobrovsky just made the save of his life. Look at the replay on the back of his left hand. Now, Florida's in a line change, and a spin move by Kachuk is going to make this beautiful for Carter Verhaeghe. Playoff goal addict. 17 in the playoffs, 5 of them being in overtime. Florida is going to travel to Tampa for games 3 and 4 with a 2-0 series lead. Now we move to Boston, where, believe it or not, it's 0-0 in the top of the 7th. And a good play by Tyler Freeman is going to show you why. Weiler Abreu now is about to change that. Solo shot to right field, and the Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. We'll see if they can keep it. Tyler Freeman, though, he's been excellent on both sides of the ball tonight. The Guardians are going to tie it up with his RBI into center field. Now it's all knotted up at 1-1. Sing the song, you know it, Cleveland. Jose Rake Ramirez makes this fastball pay and goes deep. It's 3-1 guards. Florial out of the plate, and it's off the wall. With Freeman's speed, this could score, and it will. It's going to be 4-1 Cleveland. Freeman getting the speed in there. There's not even a throw out at the plate. It's so good. Emmanuel Class save is going to slam the door in Abreu's face, and the hottest team in baseball keeps cooking. 4-1 final from Boston.
Stay right here because we wanted to talk about that Olympic representation that you mentioned earlier in the show. Just how important is it for that to be really showcased, especially in the form of a Barbie doll?
Yeah, I mean, we saw so much happening with the Barbie movie coming out. You know, a lot of people brought collaborations into it. So I think it's really, really interesting that we're highlighting athletes, you know, especially back in 1992, they weren't talking about diversity and representation and the way that we are now. So it's really cool to see her represented. Are you guys excited for the Olympics?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited now that cheer's a sport. I used to be a cheerleader, so I'm excited now that it's in the Olympics.
See, there's another form of representation. Right? Let's go.
Right? All right. Well, thank you, Della.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. TV2 News will be back right after this.
All right, guys, so it is official. My time is finally coming to an end here at Kent State University. I've only been here for 3 years, not 4. I spent my first year at Bowling Green State University studying broadcast journalism, and then I transferred here to Kent State, where I switched my major to digital media production. With that, I have had unbelievably grateful opportunities. I completed an internship told myself I wasn't going to cry. I completed an internship at Zippin Media Productions in Miami, Florida, where I got to film some amazing stuff with that team down there, and they were so grateful to potentially offer me a job here after graduation. I have, in fact, been offered a flight attendant position with Frontier Airlines as of Monday. I was one of 400 people who interviewed, and only out of 45, I was one that they decided to pick for their team. So with that, I will be based in Cleveland, Ohio, and soon flying out of there as my base. I am so unbelievably excited, as those of you who know, aviation is something I hold deeply to my heart. I am so happy for my time here at Kent State University, as I have learned unbelievably valuable tools and experiences that will help me prepare for graduation soon once I leave on May 10th. With that being said, I am so happy to be leaving. I am grateful for the time I've had here, but I am ready to be done with school after 18 years of being in school every single spring and fall. It's going to be nice to finally leave and turn this chapter into something brand new for myself. I feel as if that's all I have to say, and I did manage to hold back the tears, although they are like literally right here on the back of my eyeballs, and I do have glaucoma developing, so I'm trying not to have that factor in there, although I do have a little bit of problems. But I'm very grateful, and there is a beautiful woman sitting here at the other end of the desk, which you're going to see shortly, Della Fowler. She has been a really close friend of mine throughout this TV2 progress, and I could not be more fortunate to have her along my side throughout this journey. That's honestly all I have to say, and I hope you guys see me in the skies soon if you decide to fly Frontier. Thank you guys very much.
Congratulations, Aaron. That was fantastic.
You're going to do amazing things out there. I'm very excited to see
the hard part's over.
See, it's over. It's all over. Now I just get to walk the stage on May 10th, get my diploma, put on that beautiful crimson tassel of mine, and get a lovely dinner afterwards. I'm very excited for that.
For you. And what do you think is going to be the most exciting part with this new job at Frontier Airlines? Because it's such a unique job for people that do TV2. You really don't see that typically.
No, you don't. And a lot of people don't go from digital media production to flying in the air, although it's something that I personally have valued a lot more than media production. One of the things that I think is going to be the most difficult is probably sitting on the beach in Cancun 2 to 3 days a week, and in Florida, and getting paid for it. It's going to be such a challenge for me to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's going to be so hard.
What a struggle.
I know, right? Really, perseverance is going to have to push through on that one.
Meanwhile, the rest of us at the desk are going to be in the freeze watch of
Yeah,
Ohio.
we do have that. So you
April.
guys need to bundle up.
We
for
can go to
sure.
Myrtle Beach. It's only $39.
Yes!
You're so right.
Although that's on Breeze Airways.
Oh,
not to say anything
Hey,
about
listen,
that,
we do have a beach here in Ohio. It's up north.
it's not
You
far.
can swim in Lake Erie, right?
Edgewater Beach?
Oh no, wait, you can't.
It's not the most
Don't
ideal.
never swing there.
Yeah, it's not the
Never.
most ideal.
Dead fish in Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Della said it.
Like on the beach, like there's
kinda
like
gross.
dead fish.
Della said it.
Dead fish are everywhere. It's ocean. So,
Yeah, but if the ocean's making them sick and die. Anyway,
What a
don't swim
great
in the ocean.
ending.
And don't swim in the lake.
All right, well, that is all the time that we have for you today.
Thank you so much for joining us every Wednesday evening.
For updates on all of these stories, check out our website.
And all of our social medias at Kent Wired.
For the last time this semester, I'm Michael Neenan.
I'm Della Fowler.
I'm Hayden Cruz.
I'm Matt Caroli.
And for TV2 News, I'm Aaron Haug. Have a great night, Portage County.
On 9/27, this absolute menace of a man broke the Stardew community when he tweeted this image.
3, but that looked really good for the time.
That was incredible to me. My body kept shaking, and I also got a picture with them too, which was awesome.
Catch All Systems Go, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. TV2 Entertainment. See what's up.